So as I was getting my phone on, I realized Mike Andy's live too, so I don't know how this is going to go today. Anyway, what's up, everybody? So I did buy a new ramp rack. So I ordered it I ordered it this week. I think it was Monday. And I'm supposed to get it Tuesday. So I'm really excited about that. The only issue I have, I guess, is on the new truck that I bought, it doesn't have a hitch. So I ordered one. I don't know if I'm going to need that to put the ramp rack on. And I think they both are supposed to get here at the same day anyway, so it's just bolting on that undercarriage hitch. I don't know how fast I'm going to get to that. So anyway, what's going on, guys? Who's with me today? It's a little early. We did all our maintenance yesterday. I've been trying to do them on Fridays. It's been going great. And so, yeah, another good week. Guys, anybody out there stressed like I am? Just busy, dealing with all these customers, dealing with employees, dealing with all the stuff that comes with running this business, you know what I mean? I'm actually going to try and get my numbers early here, if I can remember where they are. All right, so how did you guys do this week? I've got some, let's see here. I saw some comments come in, but I can't see them. Dang it. Sorry, guys, if you can bear with me. Let me get there. Okay. Everett, what's up? Marrakesh, good morning. Long time no see. What's up, Harry? So let's see. Another nice weekend ahead of us. Any plans for Labor Day weekend? No, sorry, it's 4th of July. So, are you guys mowing 4th of July? Oh, Howard, you got a toothache. Trying to get to the doctor today. Man, I need to go to a dentist. Oh man, it's been probably too long for me. Yeah, we actually have, Rachel reminds everybody in the office during the winter time that we've got to go to the dentist. She's like, go to the dentist now that it's winter time, get it done, go to the doctors, get your checkups, do all those things now in the winter time. And everybody does except me. I don't do it still. But yeah, so who's mowing 4th of July? I'll tell you, we are. So the mow guys are working 4th of July. They get a nice little bonus for coming in that day. They've always worked in the past. Okay, last year we did the same thing we're doing this year. If they come in, they're going to get a bonus at the end of that shift if they get their list done. So their list has to be done. Not finished at the end, half a day, has to be completely done. And they'll get a nice little bonus from me. Harry's not mowing on the 4th, but mowing tomorrow. All of our commercial parks, so they look nice for the 4th. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. I wish I could do that. We actually thought about mowing today, all the Monday houses, but I can't get all my mow guys to work today. But they can all work on Monday. So we're just going to keep it. I actually sent everybody an email asking them if it's okay if we work on Monday to the customers. Because believe it or not, some of the mow guys are worried that the customers are going to be upset, but they're not. they're totally happy. And if people do want to cancel that week, I'm totally fine with it, because it'll make it easier for the guys. But everybody said that's cool, so we don't have to worry about it. Merrick, the weather is getting better in Washington State. Oh, good. Yeah, it's been the weirdest year, man. It was super cold up until about 3 weeks ago, and then it just got like scorching hot here in Utah, and it basically thunderstorms every night. But the rain is light, so it'll rain just for a little bit, but thundering, lightning all night. That's been happening a lot. I wish that it would rain harder to help out my sprinkler division, because, man, these customers, it's so hot that the lawns there's some dry spots in areas. So that would really help out my sprinkler division if it was raining hard every night, and the grass would look good. So it's because it's so hot, and because it was so cold like 3 weeks ago and beyond, that people are still watering really, really lightly. So now that it's super hot, they're still watering just a couple days a week. And so it's a constant battle, but it is what it is. All right, let me get back to looking for my numbers here. I'm going to see what we did this week. Let's see. So again, this is all revenue minus sprinklers. Sprinklers, we use a different software. So it was June. Oh man, my watch changed faces on me, and I don't know how to get it back. All right, so it's the 2nd today, and it's July. It's already July, guys. What? Crazy. Let me get there really fast. So last week, the 27th. We have gardeners out right now. Okay, not bad. We've had better weeks. Any guesses really fast? And again, this is not counting sprinklers. Howard wishes that landscaping had great insurance so I could quit my my UPS part-time job, which I have had for 8 years with full benefits. I got 5 scheduled jobs for Monday. Yeah, so we're looking into health insurance right now, and I'm talking with my HR payroll company, and they're really slow to get me a quote. I kind of feel like it's only because like 8 employees said they were interested in it, and we basically need like 15 to say that. So I think because of that, they're not, getting back to me. But I do have an insurance friend who sells health insurance, and he said that if we wait until like August, September, or October, or November, I'm not sure, one of those late fall months, I can enroll anybody and get on a plan and just enroll. If one person wants it, I can enroll them. And I think I'm still, I'm still paying for some of those. Like, I'm not paying 100%. I don't know what my obligation is. Minimum obligation is. I want to say it's half. And that'd be great. I'd love to do that. So that we can offer health insurance. I just wish it was easier to sign people up. Like if the payroll company said, just, oh, you want to add somebody on the health insurance? No problem. That would be great. I don't know why it's such a pain, but whatever. Merrick, update on 4-hour cleanups, new method. Oh, man, it's been going great. It has been going great. We actually just got, so Once we do once we do a block is what we call them, the blocks, but they're in 4-hour increments. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. When they complete the job, my system, my software, Service Autopilot, sends them an automated email that says, we've completed. Let me actually read it to you, because we just had one sent. It says, our garden crew just completed your garden block. If there is more work you would like performed in the yard, we would be happy to schedule another block of time. Would you like us to schedule another block of time for you? Question mark. So that is really important when you're doing these blocks of time, because that tells the customer you're done with that block. If we were to just leave, it opens the door for them to say, hey, there's still a section that I wanted done, and I thought they would be able to get it done with that. Now, they could still tell you that with this email, okay? But the amount of that has gone down dramatically since we sent them an email saying, we are done. If you need more work done, you got to schedule another block of time. And so I won't read the whole reply that this customer sent, but they said they did a great job, and they made great, all capital letters. They did a great job weeding. We are very happy with the results. So I'm really happy with the service this year. We have had some issues. Now here's where we've had some issues with this service. So let's say the garden guys have a 4-hour block. So they show up to the house, okay? And on the notes, it says, these are the priorities. Weed the retaining wall, weed the side garden bed. That's the priority, right? So the guys get those things done, and let's say there's still an hour left, okay? But the guys think they're done because they did the priority stuff, and they think the rest of the yard looks good. So they'll leave. Now, we have had complaints that the customers are saying, hey, I paid for 4 hours, but they were only here for 3. Do I still get that hour back, or do I get a credit? So that has happened a few times, and I've explained to the gardeners that this is unacceptable. I don't care if the notes say this is all they want done in this 4-hour block. You stay there for 4 hours, okay? Do not leave. Find something to make look better at that property. Put the toys in, organize the toys in the yard. Organize the hose to the garden hose. Organize the furniture in the backyard. Blow off the furniture, the tables, whatever. Make that place look perfect for the time that the block says. Don't leave early. So basically, I had to tell them all, you guys are awesome. I know you're doing a great job, but if you leave early, you are basically telling me that you want to quit and you don't want to work here anymore. So that's what's going to happen if you leave early. So I've had to say that to my garden guys because no fault to their own. They think they're getting the yard done, and they are, and they probably are. There's probably nothing more to do on some of these properties, but the homeowner is looking at it as in, well, I paid for 4 hours. You only gave me 3. What's the deal? So what I'm telling my garden guys is they're paying for 4 hours, and we don't want to give a refund because all you have to do is stay there for the whole 4 hours. So if you think you're done, find something else to do, but do not leave. So that's my update on the 4-hour blocks, but it's or 8-hour block on all the blocks, and it's been going great, man. And we haven't had to do a refund in quite a while because we're getting better at it. We're getting better at communicating with the customer, at expectations, and we're letting them know that it's just for weeding. Now, if they do call for shrub pruning, we do have to send that to another crew that's a little more experienced, and they can talk to the customer to make sure they're doing the right shrubs. So it's a work in progress, but it's going amazing. This year is flying by, Harry, I know. Howard, I just bidded on a company property cleanup full of weeds. Sent estimate through QuickBooks. Anyone like or use QuickBooks? I bidded for like $1,300, comes out to like almost $14. That's a lot of taxes. I used to use QuickBooks before Service Autopilot. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. There's, especially if like you don't have a lot of customers. It works great. Howard, I got an email today saying possible customer wants a bid presented, more detail, like what we are doing, like hedging, raking, cleanup. All right, let me read that again. Wants a bid presentation, more detail, like what we doing, like hedges, raking, trimming. Like on the 4 hour, like what do you put down in the breakdown with the blocks? Well, I wouldn't, if you don't know what needs to be done, I wouldn't put a breakdown. If the customer's asking for a breakdown after you did a 4 hour block, you know, I haven't had a customer say that with the blocks, because when they call, they basically tell me what they want, and that's our priority. After that, we tell the customers, you know, our garden guys were there for the 4 hours doing yard cleanup. They did your priority and they stayed extra to make sure everything looked good. So I don't really break things down on the blocks. We do break things down on landscaping big cleanup projects. So for example, yesterday, I know Fernando did a garden estimate. By the way, so this week, not counting sprinkler work, we did 52K. So another good week. But let me look at what Fernando did yesterday, which is the garden cleanup crew. And because that was, I remember looking at that ticket and it had breakdown of things. So this job had 1, 2, 3 jobs that the guys had to complete all at once or all at different times, whatever, but they had 3 different jobs. The reason why I like breaking things down like that on a job, so let me read this one off to you. It was garden cleanup was one job. The next job was soil buildup on the gardens. And then the third job was shrub pruning. And then we had disposal fee, okay? But the garden cleanup section was removing all the weeds and debris from the front and backyard garden beds in prep for new soil. So the reason why I like to separate things on the job ticket is so when they complete each job ticket, and if they can't finish the rest because it's too late in the day or they can't find compost or whatever the issue is, we could still charge that customer for that line item that they did that day. So, for example, they did garden weeding, soil prep, shrub pruning. If they only did the shrub pruning yesterday because maybe they got to that job late, we can charge them for the shrub pruning, which we have scheduled there for $300. So that's why I like to separate things. What's up, Jamar? That's why I like to separate things so that as we complete each task, we can charge them. We don't charge it the second it's done, but I'm just saying at the end of the day, if the guys aren't going to go back and finish that job, we can still charge for what they did. So yesterday they were able to get everything done. So they did the garden weeding. They removed all the weeds and debris from the front garden beds. And then the second job was the shrub pruning. So it was trimming and shape all shrubs in the front and backyard. So they did that. And then the third thing was lay down garden soil for the 2 yards, the 2 garden beds in the front. So, and they were building them up, right? Because they were really thin. So, and the ground was really hard. So we put more soil on top. And now we've got to go back. This was a callback after we were done that she wants compost on the flower beds, and she accepted it. So they'll go back and do that. But if that was initially on the estimate, we would have done all of that same day. And what we didn't get done, we would have been able to charge at the end of the day. So that's why I like to separate things. So if a customer calls, like if this customer calls me today and says, hey, what did they do? I can easily say we did garden work, which was weeding. We also did soil prep, and we did shrub pruning. And this is how much each one was. So if there was an issue, like let's say, for example, they were really upset at the garden weeding, which was whatever amount it was, we can just focus on that line item and say, you know, worst case scenario, I think it's fair if we were to give you this much refund, and not just a refund off the top of the whole bill, because the complaint is about that one line item, you know what I mean? So that's kind of another reason why we like to separate all the tickets. So on your question, Howard, if you were giving them an estimate to do a job, you can give them an estimate with different line items on it with the different prices. So you can complete each one and charge each one if you finish. And hopefully that helps. So what's everybody doing? Like I said, we had a pretty good week. It seems like things are going as smooth as it was last month. Well, this was basically the month, June. So my gardens are getting pretty caught up to the point where I think we're booked jobs till like Wednesday or Thursday. I don't think we have the full week booked for next week. But we get so many calls coming in that are like emergency stuff, like, hey, can you get out here fast? So I'm pretty sure we're going to be fine. Thank you very much, Howard. Matt, Freddie's the best. Much love, Freddie. Thank you. You too. So, yeah, I finished my maintenance yesterday, so today I've got it pretty easy. I'm not in a rush like I am most days, so I can probably answer some questions here. I do kind of want to talk about something real quick. It's kind of like a motivating thing. Hopefully it motivates you or something. I don't know. Who does the Kobe scores? Anybody does the Kobe scores? And if you do, what's your Kobe score? I'm going to look for mine real fast. Let me see. I know I took a picture of them on my phone. Okay, so I'm going to write down my Kobe score, and then I'll go into what it is. So 5, 6, 4, 3. That's my Kobe score. I don't know if I spelled Kobe right, but so my Kobe score is 5, 6, 4, 3, which is basically, oh shoot, I said it wrong, guys. I did it wrong. Let me edit that if I can. I'm going to remove it and do it again. So my Kobe score is 5, 7, 4, 3. Kobe score. Let me do Kobe score. Has anyone ever put mulching blades on a zero-turn mower without entire kit? Yeah. So when you put those, when you talk about mulching kit, do you at least have the chute covered? I've actually tried it with just the chute covered, and it works. It doesn't work awesome as it does if you have each individual, case on each blade, but I have done it. Okay, so my Kobe score is 5743, and the main point is follow-up. So let me see if I can show you this. So there's the Kobe score. The red is fact finder. Blue is follow-up. green is quick start, and yellow is implementer. So this is my Kobe score. Now, there's some people in the industry that really live by this, especially if you're building a team, you know, with managers and things like that. Sorry, I'm going to try and look like it was cricket. If you're trying to build a team, like with managers and things like that, especially in the office, the Kobe score can help you build a more rounded team, meaning, so I'm a follow-up, I'm a follow-through based on my Kobe score. I mean, yeah, so if somebody says, hey, we got to get this done, because my Kobe score is so high, it's going to get done, probably. You know what I mean? And there's some people that are really high fact finders, so the red part is their highest. And I'm actually kind of surprised that mine is a 5 out of 7. No, sorry, not out of 7. I guess out of 10 or 9. I don't know why I said out of 7. But I can't believe my fact finder is actually as high as it is, because I feel like I do research on things. I don't just jump in, but I didn't think that I did that much research, you know. But there's some people that their fact finder is the highest, you know, category, and I think that hinders you if you think about things too much. You know what I mean? You just gotta just go get started, go do it, and learn from that. That's kind of what I do. But so my point in all this is that I just had lunch with a friend, and he asked me what my Kobe score was, and so I told him. And he was kind of blown away by how high my follow-through is. And he actually like nailed something right on the head with me, because so I'm not quite sure. Like when people, you know, when you go to conference and a motivational speaker comes out and says, what's your why? You know what I mean? I always struggle and I go, I don't really know what my why is, because I have so many. You know what I mean? But anyway, he was asking me, like, does that mean, since you're such a high follow through, does that mean that when you think of an idea, like you just, by all means, you get it done? And I said, pretty much. So with me was, I had a vision that I saw this, I didn't see the whole business, but I saw like the operation in a vision that I just looked out my window one day trying to find the direction of my company. And I was just thinking about it, and I just looked out my window, and I felt like I could see all the different departments working. I could see there was a mow guy. This is all in my head, okay? This is all in my head. I saw somebody, like basically, I saw somebody mowing. I saw somebody working in the flower beds. I saw somebody fertilizing the lawn. I saw somebody working on the sprinkler system. And I just said to myself, that's my company that I need to build. I need to do that. Because as a homeowner, I was like, that's what I need right now. When I moved into my first house, right when I got married, the house came with 2 timers. And this was back in 2008 or 2009. Can't remember. And so it was like 14 years ago, okay? And the house came with 2 timers. One was in the garage and one was in like the basement office. And I couldn't figure out for the life of me how to work them. You know, so I was like, damn it, it would be so nice if I could call somebody that could do all these things. Because at the time I was busy doing my other life, whatever work I was doing in my other life, and my lawn looked dead. I got a lawn, the lawn was dead, pretty much. So I was like, damn, I need somebody to maintain this while I'm working. And I need somebody to help me out with the timers and the sprinklers. I can't figure this out. So anyway, I called a friend over and he helped me with the timers and we got that all taken care of. But that's when I looked out my window and I was like, anyway, that wasn't the exact day, but there was a time when I did start Lawn Thumbs and I thought to myself, a new homeowner needs all these things done. And that was my vision of what I needed to do. And that was like my blueprint to just focus on that. And I did it. Because I obsessed about it, man. Think about it. When if you're out there mowing, customers are going to ask you to fix their sprinklers. They're going to ask you to do their shrub pruning, clean the weeds, pick up the leaves, rake the leaves, haul them away. They're going to ask you for all those things. But when you first start out, you can't do all of it. I mean, sometimes you can, and some of you are really good at organizing. I'm not, right? I'm basically a people pleaser. Oh, you want that done? Okay, we'll get it done. You want that done? But what I'm really good at is saying, no, we don't do those services. So when I first started, I just wanted to mow. That was it. And then eventually we started doing shrub pruning. But that was it. And when somebody says, hey, can you fix my sprinklers? We're like, I can't. We don't do that. I'm not even going to try it. There was a time where I finally did, because I was kind of the one that started every division, right? Except for the gardens. That was always left to somebody else because it took so much time out of your day to clean a flower bed, you know what I mean? So that was one of the services that I just couldn't focus on myself. But basically mowing, I was the first one mowing here and I built it up and then I started delegating that. Then I started fertilizing and I was the only one that fertilized, and then I was doing that until I built it up to the point where I had systems down. Then I would hand that off and start delegating that service. And then I did the same thing with sprinklers, right? So it's like, I said, all right, this year I'm going to be the sprinkler guy. So I put on my sprinkler hat and I learned how to do sprinklers. And I kept working at it until I finally felt like, all right, I'm good at it. I'm going to hand that off. And then, so I've handed that off. And we're still working on that service because that's the hardest one to keep people year after year, especially when the sprinkler season is only like a 6-month thing. So it's really hard to find sprinkler guys out here where it's too cold for 6 months out of the year for sprinklers. And it's such a short window. But so that's something that's a work in progress, but that was something that I did start here when I started it, and then I started delegating that. So the thing is, usually you're the first one in your company to start a new division until you can find somebody to kind of replace you, right? So to do that, it takes time. You can't just say, all right, this year we're going to also do garden. We're going to need landscapers, we're going to need sprinkler guys, and we're going to need a fertilizer tech. Good luck. Good luck. So it's all little by little, guys. Sometimes I tell people, if you go a whole year and you end the season with one badass new employee, you won. Consider that a win. Don't worry about how much revenue you made or what you could have paid and what you should have paid off. Now that the season's over, you didn't do those things. But if you had one good employee that is coming back next year, or that you could keep him busy throughout the winter so that he's ready to go in the spring, consider that a win. Consider that job a year well done. So because when you have a good employee like that, you can start the new season. Like let's say right now today, you're struggling in your business. You're struggling to make payroll, but you make payroll. Maybe you're not paying yourself, which I hate to say that, but we've all done it. But you hired somebody who's really good at communicating with the customers and is a hard worker, doesn't want to go home until all the jobs are done. At the end of the year, if you still have that employee and he's ready to go next year, or you keep him busy all year, forget about what it is you didn't pay for this whole year. Forget about all the things that you should have done with the money that was coming in. Who cares? You got an awesome employee that you're ready to build your business next year. So that vision that I had, that I needed to have all these, basically these 4 divisions up and running, all good, starts one division at a time. So the mowing, that's normal, right? We're gonna do that. That's our bread and butter. That one's the easiest to keep going. It's when you have, like, let's say you're starting a fertilizer division. If you end the season with somebody that you know is going to start the next year doing that, and you know they're capable of running that division or taking ownership of it, dude, that's a win. So I had to do that over and over again until I basically have all the divisions up and running with good people. And the way to do that is you got to pay good, you know. Paying people really good definitely propels your business. But it's one of those things that us new guys, like when we first start, we're scared to do because you feel like you get locked into a price with somebody. But I tell you, if you do hire somebody who literally does not want to go home till the jobs are done on their list, or they call you for more work because they don't want to go home, pay them as good as any top company in your area would pay that person. Do it. That is, I've always said that's kind of one of my biggest regrets when I first started this company, was there was this awesome guy who totally could have been like awesome crew leader. He wanted $15 an hour. Now this was back in 2010, so that was 12 years ago. And I thought that was a lot of money, and it was at the time, especially because I was by myself, you know what I mean? And I was just starting. My prices were wrong. Every day something would break. So let's say I made $200 on Monday. My mower broke on Tuesday. It cost me $300 to fix. I'm in the hole. Like, that kind of thing kept happening to me in my very first week or whatever, you know, months of doing this. So when a awesome employee comes up and he's like, dude, I like where you're going with this company, but I need $15 an hour. And I was like, it's too much for me. I can't do it. Because at the time I probably thought, oh, I'd find the next guy to come work for me. But in this industry, they don't just walk through a revolving door. You know what I mean? People are hard to find that are hard workers. It's really easy to find anybody, but it's hard to find people that really want to work. And especially at the beginning, when you don't really have kind of like the standard of what your employees should be. So like right now, my mowing and my garden division, the standard is so high, right? So a mow guy comes in, they see what everybody in that division is doing, and they got to get up to that level. You know what I mean? The same thing with the gardens, right? The garden guys come in here and they're like, oh, Dan, you guys work till it gets dark. Like, you guys don't finish, like, you don't pause jobs and start them the next day. You finish them. Yes, that's the standard. So when they recruit other people, like when my gardeners go out there and they talk to people at lunch, they're like, hey, you looking for another job? Like, you want to make good money? Right from the start, that new hire sees what everybody's doing. And that's hard to do when you first start your business. When you hire your first guy, he could be somebody who he thinks, the guy that you hired may think he's a hard worker, but he doesn't know what a real hard worker looks like or does. So that's kind of like setting your company up for a bad example. When the next guy comes in, they see your first guy is not, goes home at 3 every day, takes an hour lunch. It's going to end bad. It's not that it can end bad, but it's going to be harder of a process. So when I had guys that were doing that, I would try and isolate them from the other new guys. So I would say, look, dude, you're going to have to go off on your own. And then I'd try and start a new crew with other people that want to work a little longer until finally you build that standard up to where the guys come in, they don't leave till it's done. Now, I do have gardeners who get hired and they say, look, dude, I want to work till 5. That's it. I don't want to work till 6. I don't want to work till 8. I want to work till 5. I go, awesome. If I need somebody like that, I'll hire them. And then I know that's the standard for this guy, for this crew, right? Because I have somebody like that. And he's amazing. He's great. He does the blocks. He's one of the guys that he can go off on his own and do a 4-hour block or 8-hour block that day. And it works great because we know we could give him 2 4-hour blocks or one 8-hour block, and that's all he's going to do that day. And he's going to bring in, between $600 to $700 a day if he's by himself. So I'm super happy with that, because he leaves early, and he doesn't want overtime. He doesn't want to work Saturdays and Sundays. So now I am kind of stuck with him, but I'm okay with that because I know what the example and the standard is for him. Now, some of the new guys come in, and I'm like, look, I don't need anybody, but I do have a position open, but it's only a 30 to 40 hour a week position. So now I have to work with that one guy, but he's really good, so I'm able to do that. Jarmar, so this got me rethinking my pay. Well, I don't know what I said that's got you rethinking pay. Maybe it was something else. Merrick, do you have a standard uniform for your employees? Yes. So here's one of my shirts. Most of my guys, they don't like the short sleeves. They want the long sleeve shirts. So let me go get one. So these are the uniforms. Long sleeve. Now, I do have guys that want short sleeves, and I try and get them. Basically, I order myself short sleeves. So when somebody wants short sleeve shirts, I basically give them my new ones that I haven't opened yet because they come bagged or whatever. Edward, what's up? Finally caught me, so cool. So do I have a standard for uniforms for the employees? So the shirts, I do have that as like something that I look for in the morning when everybody's pulling in. I'm like, hey, where's your shirt? Where's your shirt? And a lot of them, I have it. I just haven't thrown it on yet. When I drive to the jobs, they're always wearing their shirts. I don't really care about what color pants everybody wears because I'm not going to go out and buy them pants. But I will buy them shirts. I will buy them shirts, and I don't care what kind of hats they wear. I used to buy, the trucker hats, but most people would wear them, and as soon as they get dirty, sweaty, and nasty, they just stop wearing them, and then they start using whatever they want over as a hat. And I'm not going to tell somebody they can't wear a hat when they're out in the sun. So I just stopped buying hats for everybody and just saying you can get whatever hat you want and wear whatever hat you want. And I've never had any issues with that. I've never felt like, oh man, I can't. If I had an issue with somebody wearing a hat, I'd probably say, look, dude, I'll buy you a hat if you stop wearing that one. But I've never had an issue with what kind of hat they're wearing. My full-timer is one of those that love to work late and ask for more work often. Good kid. That's the best. That's the guy you want to build your team around, man. Now, I've had people like that where I basically tell them, so, hey, look, man, I love your work ethic. I really want you to be a part of this business. When we get bigger and we start really taking over the county or whatever, I want you to be there at the top with us. So here's what I want to do for you. I'm going to pay you more, but I'm going to build a team around you. Let them know that. Let them know, look, man, I need a crew that's just like you. So I'm going to build a team around you. And just keep motivating that person, The more work they're doing, the better they're going to the better the morale is for the other employees. So treat that person like almost like a partner. You know what I mean? Buy them rewards. You know, just anyway. I can't stress enough, when you have an employee like that, you need to make sure that they're happy and they want to stay there. And then the other employees are going to see that that's what the employees are like. And then one day, I mean, I'm blessed, out of control. All my guys are pretty much like that. They're all like, when somebody new comes in, it's almost like, oh, damn, this is real, you know? I can't mess around. And so I think that if everybody experiences that, they're all going to just love their businesses. Freddie, your thoughts on buying accounts, please. I love buying accounts. So I have a little process that I do. So basically, we call all the lawn care companies that Google can find. We call them and we say, look, I'll buy all your accounts as long as I have a name, phone number, address, and email. We have to have, and the price. So 5 things. Name of the customer, email, the address, how much we're paying, and what was that last one? Phone number. Okay, so I need those 5 things. If you have those 5 things, I pay you $25 each. Right now, as soon as you give me the list, I'll pay you $25 each. Once I sign them up, once I call them and I get them a quote and they sign up, I will pay you between $100 to $150. Kind of depends on how many is in the list. Also, what their business looks like. Do they have a good reputation? If they have card on file, I'll pay more than $150. But typically between $100 and $150 when they all sign up each, and I pay them weekly for 4 weeks. Okay, so we try our hardest to get them all to sign up for 4 weeks. After 4 weeks, if a customer signs up like on their own, they call us and sign up, we don't pay out that extra $100 to $150. And that has worked out great because the people that sell us these accounts, they basically just want to get rid of their accounts. They're not trying to get rich. Do you know what I'm saying? They might have 20, 30, 40 accounts. And they're probably all priced wrong. So they're just trying to get out of the business is what they're trying to do. So when I do that, I instantly give them, you know, between $5,000 to $2,000 right up front for their list, between $500 to $2,000. And then $100 to $150 each one that says yes, and I pay them out weekly. So I've had people that have gotten like $200 to $400 a week for 4 weeks, and that's way more than they would have gotten just giving them away, which is what they would have probably done. So, so we do that all year. So Edward, I don't know if you're still on here, but Edward's new here and he works here. And he may be doing that soon. He's really good, CSR. Really good. Man, we have just been getting lucky with office staff, with field guys, and we've even been getting lucky with customers, man. We have some really great customers, man. So anyway, those are my thoughts on buying accounts, and that price has worked out good. Now, if I had a company that was like one of the big ones that you know is like, that's a well-known company, I would, if they had all of the accounts on paper and gave them to me, I would pay them up to $200 to $250 a customer right from the list. I wouldn't even need to try and sell them to pay that. But those customers are, sorry, I got a text that got me not focusing right now. It's an email. But those companies that go up for sale are very rare. But But yeah, I mean, that's how your business will grow so damn fast. But when you're buying a company like that, that's, you know, got systems in place, basically all you have to do is say, I'm your new Mo provider, and everything's taken care of, you know, like basically already have card on file and all that stuff. You got to have your stuff down good. You got to have good processes, and you've got to be reliable to the T. You know what I mean? Because these customers are gonna be expecting you to be as good as their last provider, if not better. One of the things that we do is when we do buy accounts, like let's say I bought 20 Mo customers from, you know, Bob. We don't try and sell that new customer that we're going to mow their lawn. We try and tell them of all the other services that this company doesn't do. So, hey, new customer, we've been referred by Bob to mow your lawn, and we wanted you to know that we also do sprinkler work, and we can give you a free estimate to go out and check any problems. We also do garden maintenance and landscaping, and we can get you a quote for doing those things. We also have maintenance plans for gardens and shrub pruning, and we do all these things. By the way, did you want us to mow your lawn? Like almost like mowing the lawn is like not even something that we were trying to do, because our price is going to be higher than somebody with 20 lawns. You know what I mean? So we want to get them excited about all the other services that Bob didn't do, but you guys do? Oh, that's awesome. So that's what you're trying to sell when you're buying new accounts and you have the account list in hand. How much is a CPA nowadays? Any recommendations? West Valley. So CPA. So I use Squire for my what do you call it? My CPA is Squire, and that was $1,500 for him to do my taxes. I pay Cycle CPA for my bookkeeping throughout the year, and I just started with them at the beginning of this year, and they did all my books for last year, even though I signed up with them this year, because I didn't have my books done for last year. What's up, John? Thanks for stopping by, bro. So Cycle CPA did my books for last year, and they've been doing my books this year, even though I signed up with them in like January. I think it was January or February. So they had to get all my books from 2021 done. And I will tell you, I've had bookkeepers in the past. John, so you're looking into Cycle CPA as well once I purchased this other business. Oh, nice. How big is that other business? How many accounts did they have? Just curious. Cycle CPA, man, they're really good. So I've had other bookkeepers that are lawn care specialists kind of things, and they're really not, you know. But Cycle CPA is, you know, it's not really hard to do. Like if you know how to do books, I don't think it's hard to say, well, I'm gonna specialize in this thing, and I think it's a good draw, and it's good to like get you in there. But what Cycle CPA is good at is just like organization. I've never had my books more organized than I did with them, ever. And I've had this giant big firm doing my books too for the last, I would say, 5 years before Cycle CPA, and Cycle CPA is 100 times better. 100 times better. I haven't done any of the meetings that you get with them with Cycle CPA, just because I feel like I don't really need to know what's going on with my numbers, because I pretty much look at them every day. So I don't feel like, I don't know, like I'm actually going to have my first meeting with them with Cycle CPA soon. I'm supposed to have it this week sometime, and I'm going to ask them, like, what is it that you can let me know that I should be doing, because I've never gotten advice from a bookkeeper on on anything ever. So I'm kind of curious to see what, somebody in the lawn care that specializes in landscape lawn care would have as far as advice. But I will tell you, they're the best bookkeepers I've ever had. I'll say that. What's up, Howard? Oh, thank you. Cool. Oh, 1.5 million residential cleaning company. SBA is reviewing the loan. Oh, damn, that's awesome, dude. That is awesome. That's an industry that I wanted to tap into, but I started into it on COVID time, and it didn't go. It didn't go horrible, but I didn't like all the cancellations because of COVID. Customers were canceling because somebody's sick in the house. And my workers were canceling because they were feeling like they were in a property that had luggage and you weren't supposed to be traveling at the time. And so they were feeling all like, maybe they shouldn't come into work for the next couple of days. It was just a mess on both sides. And that went on for quite a while. So I just said, let's shut down house cleaning. And when I first started the house cleaning, by the way, and I don't know if you mean house cleaning, John, but I'm sure you are. When I first started my cleaning business, I had some awesome cleaners, man. I mean, awesome. Like, I don't know if I'll ever... Since then, I haven't seen any awesome cleaners. Even when I was trying to do this, keep it going a little bit. So my momentum was just killed. So that's why I haven't done it anymore. How often does Cycle CPA check in, and do you have executive reports, or do they give you executive reports? They check in a lot. I get random texts at least once or twice a week, letting me know that they're working on something, and so I know that they're working on a lot of things. But I gotta be honest, Jarmar, I don't really micromanage them because I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need anything from them other than clean books at the end of the year. You know what I mean? But I will tell, okay, so I've got something here. Actually, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say it. It's nothing bad. It's just a personal thing with a loan. And they looked at my books, and I've never had a loan approved so fast than I did this year. And I believe a combination. Cycle CPA's books look clean and organized, okay? I think that was definitely a big part of it. The other part was I did tell my CPA that I was going to try to get this loan this year, and I needed it to pass through. So I need my personal taxes to look awesome. Not hiding a penny. You cannot hide a penny. We got to show that we're making everything so that I can get this loan. And I don't know what it was, but loan never went so smooth. And so I feel like I owe that to good bookkeeping and my good CPA at Squire. So I don't know which one gets more credit on that, but I think it was a combination of both. One of them was, well, they both do my taxes for business, and one of them does my business taxes and my personal taxes, which is my CPA, and Cycle CPA, who aren't actually CPAs, but that's, for some reason, that's their name. But they are bookkeepers. They're really good. So I don't want to stress that enough. So as far as do I get executive reports, I don't know. I haven't asked for one. I think I do, but I don't look at it. I know I've gotten a report with like my profit and loss statement, but I just looked at it and it's like, it doesn't look like anything new to me. Like it looks like what I already know. I literally check every bank account every day. I do it every day religiously. It's like my morning ritual. And I'm not doing it to count money. I'm just looking at to make sure that everything is being consistent, the spending is consistent, that nobody's taking advantage out there. And so I just look at it and I transfer money because I do profit first. So that's main reason why I look at all the accounts too, is because I've got to transfer money to all these different accounts every single day. And if you're not doing profit first, man, you are missing out. It is the best thing I've ever done in my business. And I was somebody that used to be pretty bad with money. And because of Profit First and Mike Michalowicz, the Profit First book, and working with people that have used Profit First that are really good at it, like basically like as good as I am now, they were teaching me when I didn't know anything about Profit First, literally holding my hand, telling me what to do, and I did it, and it's been, ever since then, my life has been so much better. Is Cycle CPA a Profit First accountant? They're not, but they know about it. They've told me, because that was my first question to them. And the only reason why I asked if they were Profit First accountants was because of all the different transferring. You know what I mean? I wanted them to be aware that when they go into my books, it's going to be a lot of money moving around, and I wanted them to know I wanted them to be aware of that. But when they said no, but they're aware of it, they know what it is, and they know what it is, but they just aren't certified Profit First accountants, and they don't practice that with their clients. But it's been fine. They haven't asked me any questions about that or anything, so I think it's all good. But guys, having a bookkeeper and a CPA is highly recommended. Okay, I know I've talked about this in the past, but the last time I did TurboTax on myself for my business, I ended up owing the IRS $15,000. Okay, and that was on a year that I did $90,000 in revenue, 90 for the whole year, and I paid the tax that year, which I probably could get an amendment done because I don't know if enough time has gone by. But I paid the IRS $15,000 on a year that I did $90,000 in revenue. That's how dumb it is to do taxes on your own. So ever since then, I've had professionals do my taxes. Last year in revenue, we did 1.5 million in revenue, and I got back $3,800. I got money back, and we did a 1.5 million in revenue. So I definitely recommend paying a professional to do it. Now, I did pay my professional this year to do it, and it was $1,500. So it's not cheap, but $1,500, $15,000. Okay. So anyway, let's see. Yeah, we got into a financial topic here with bookkeeping. I guess just to end the Cycle CPA thing, I reached out to them because I saw them on Instagram so much, and my normal bookkeepers, when I told my CPA that I need to get this loan this year, and I need to have my books done as fast as possible. I want to be like the first one to have my books done this year and all my taxes done. I sent them that in January, and it was actually more like March, now that I think about it, when I signed up to Cycle CPA, and my books still weren't done at Squire. So I called my CPA, who he answers me and he gets everything done fast, but the bookkeeper division didn't. And I was like, dude, I needed this done. And so he sent an email to the bookkeeping division saying how upset he was that, they're kind of like not taking me serious. And so that's when I went looking, and while I was on Instagram, I kept seeing Cycle CPA, and how they do landscaping. Their focus is landscaping, so I thought I'd give them a call. The call went great because I talked with Carla on that initial phone call, and she just answered all my questions. She kind of was like just straight to the point about things, and I asked her some questions that I felt that I wanted answered before I actually pay somebody to do this, and she answered them and gave me answers that I never thought about. So I gave it a shot, and I told her, I said, you know, I need my books done for last year for sure. I need them done as fast as possible. And so they did like expedited work for me, and they did so good that I said, let's keep going on monthly for forever, you know. So highly recommend them. I don't see myself going with anybody else because they're so good. And I think they're priced about what my other company was. So now, so basically what I'm saying is they didn't seem any higher price than another company. So if you go with them, you may think it's high price, but I'm telling you, I've been paying bookkeepers for a long time, and that is about what everybody's charging. Now, because I do a lot of transferring of money, and because they wanted to do something that I was doing. They wanted to take it over for me, and they kind of said that it's actually going to cost me more for them fixing my mistakes because I was still doing stuff on QuickBooks because I actually like doing it. Like I told you, I have this routine, this ritual every morning that I do stuff, and part of that is, getting on QuickBooks. So they said they wanted to take that off my plate, and so there was a fee to that. And it's a profit first thing, but they're not. I mean, I guess if you think about it, they're not profit first accountants, but they're taking over what I was doing, and what I was doing was profit first. So I'll just leave it at that. But I know they're not certified profit first accountants, and they don't say they are. They don't say they're certified profit first accountants. So I don't want to like be misleading or anything. They're just transferring money as if I was transferring it. That's all it is. And they're doing a great job as far as I can tell. So last year's numbers are awesome. Like, I don't know about the numbers, but last year's books look really organized. This year, haven't really looked at them because I don't really care, because it's not something that I'm worried about. It's just kind of like a mechanic. I dropped 2 trucks off this morning, and I don't care what they're doing. They're just going to work on it, and when they tell me it's done, I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to take it. That's how I feel with the bookkeepers, to be honest with you. Now, the mechanic says, hey, I recommend you do this. I'm going to listen to him. Just like when next week I'm supposed to have a meeting with my guy over at Cycle CPA, and I'm going to hear him out. And hopefully he has some good advice, and if he doesn't, well, not going to change my life in any way. So, but maybe he does give me some advice, and he like changes my world. So why don't you guys ask me next Saturday if you can remind me if Cycle CPA gave me some killer advice, and I'll let you know. But I'm going into it with no expectations, But the cool thing is, like, so you're supposed to have like a monthly report meeting for the month prior. And I've never done that with them yet because, like I keep saying, I don't really care. But they do ask me to do it. I just haven't like scheduled an appointment. But they keep asking me like, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this. So it's not like they're hiding. I just haven't booked an appointment. So that's all. Anyway, I recommend them. They've been great. Easy to work with. All of that. So what's everybody up to? So, sorry, I'm trying to find where everything's at. You're welcome, Howard. Let's see. So when is the middle of the season? I used to know that. Now I don't know. James, what's up? Um, so let's see. The so yeah, we're getting close to the middle of the mow season, aren't we? By the way, that brings me to this thing. So I basically told the office that if customers are asking, when do you stop mowing? When do you guys say? When do you guys say to customers, if they called you right now, hey, when do you guys stop mowing? Hold on. Got a question. I got something from Harry. I always feel like July is our mid-mark, although it isn't direct middle. Yeah, but it's close, somewhere in the month, you know. When I used to mow out there, I would always tell when the peaches were really big. That's when I'd be like, oh damn, it's getting to the other side of the month. The other half of the year is mowing. I would hate to see those big peaches when I'm mowing, because that kind of tells me that we're past the midway part. Edward, November. So we really should be saying December. So yeah, I understand November seems like the right time, but we actually still mow leaves, and sometimes the weather's still hot, the grass is still growing in November. So we say December. I personally feel bad mowing in December. Like, I feel like at that point we need to stop. I don't care how nice it is. If the weather is beautiful, but it's the first week of December, we just can't mow. It just can't do it, man. So we need to tell people that we stop mowing in December. Now, customer, you can call earlier and cancel, but as long as that grass is growing, we're going into December, until the beginning of December. So that's where we need to start telling our customers. When the grass stops growing, October in Seattle. When is the best time to increase prices? Well, the best time to increase prices it depends on how many customers you have, okay? If you've got over 150, I think the best time to tell them that you're gonna raise your prices is as early as possible. So like right now, you'll tell them that next year, these are gonna be your new prices. If you have 150 or more. If you have like 150, basically 100 or less, you may want to raise them immediately, and you want to tell them that you're going to raise them the next time you want us to mow. It all depends on how many workers you have. You know what I mean? Like last year I had 10 mow guys, and if I were to raise my prices, I would have been laying off half my mow guys, because you're going to lose customers. Now they're going to come back, okay? You're going to lose customers right away, but if you're good, they're going to come back to you once they realize that everybody else out there is bad. They're going to call you back. But during that time where you lose everybody, you can't pay people for a month or two till you get everybody back, you know? But if you have basically 100 customers or less, you don't have that many workers. You shouldn't have, for 100 mow customers, you really shouldn't have more than 2 guys mowing, not including yourself. If you're one of the guys mowing, you should have one more guy mowing. Now, whether you guys mow it together or you mow one-man crews, I don't care. To have a strong mow business, you shouldn't have more than 2 guys mowing 100 lawns, okay? Now, you can argue all you want about it, but each one of my guys mows 60 lawns a week. So I don't want to hear anything that you can't mow 100 with less than 2 guys, or sorry, with less than 3 guys. I don't know. You shouldn't need more than 2 guys to mow 100 lawns altogether. Now I get it. Some of them are halfway, all parts of the county. Okay, that's one thing. But maybe you focus on just one city, prior to last year, the last 5 years, I was only in 2 cities. That was it. And I loved it. I loved it. The only reason why I now do the whole county is because I bought another company that was basically the same size as me, and they were on the other side of the county. So now I do both counties, and we have enough, we do the full county almost. There's still some cities all the way south that we don't do. It is very rural, very rural. So there's hardly any houses out there. So anyway, my point is, if you're if you got 2 guys and you have 100 lawns, okay, and let's say your average price per lawn is $40, you're not making any money. If you raise your price and let's say your average becomes $60, you will now be making pretty much more money with 50 lawns than you were with 100 when you're paying people, when you consider that. So when you have 100 or less, you want to raise them immediately. Don't wait, because if you lose half of them, who cares? You can still get it done, and your life will be so much better because now you're working maybe half days or 2 days or however, you're working less because you got half the customers, but you're making the same amount as if you had 100. Think about it. That's when you start really dreaming about the good life. You know what I mean? You can afford to pay for the gas. You can afford to buy equipment. There's nothing better than when equipment breaks down and you just go get another one. It's just cost of doing business and it doesn't hurt. That's the best. And the same thing with vehicles. You know what I mean? We are priced so that we can get a new truck every 5 years with our mowing. So this year I bought a used truck that I've got to put some money into it, and I got to put the ramp rack on it, and that's all part of that new vehicle price. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm priced to buy a new vehicle and a new trailer setup. No, that new price for a truck is the whole setup, right? So I spent 7 on the truck, 45 on a ramp rack. So I just bought a new ramp rack. I get it on Tuesday. Catch you later, Edward. And I haven't bought any more trimmer racks or anything on it yet. So far I'm in, what is that? Almost 12? Almost 12 grand. And it was fine. It was easy. It was like, dude, it's something I got to do. So when you're priced right, it makes sense and everything becomes easier. So I definitely recommend that. And I know that's not what you were asking. So what you were asking is when the best time to increase prices. If you have 150 or more, basically if you have 4 employees or more, you want to wait till next year because you're going to lose some of them. And you also have to think about how many of those 4 guys, like if you have 4 badass guys, you don't want to lose anybody. So you got to tell them early for next year. Can you do a video on the ramp rack? Yeah. I will. Yeah, I'll try anyway. I'm really bad about recording out in the yard or out in the field, but yeah, I'll try and do that for sure. I'll definitely talk about it. I'm really excited. So I have you guys seen my mow setups where I've got that cage that you can lift up the grass and dump it out? It's got room for a grandstand and two 21-inch mowers all the trimmer racks on the side. It's got 2 gas tanks up on top, which reminds me, I gotta put fuel on all the trucks today before I go. So on one of those trucks, I actually chopped it down. One of the worst mistakes I've ever made. All right, I admitted that was a mistake. I chopped it down, made it for a gardener, and it's great. It works great for a gardener, but man, how I would love to have that truck the way it was for the mow guys now, because I had to buy a ramp rack because I can't find another one of those cages. So it's one of my biggest regrets that I've done so far. So, but anyway, my gardener, it still could work for a mowing. It just doesn't have that grass set up to dump the grass. But it basically is a ramp rack on steroids. You know what I mean? It's huge. It's a lot bigger, a lot wider. I can fit 2 grandstands side by side basically on that. I don't know if close to it. If I can't, it's damn close, but I think I can. And it's got the ramp on the back. So anyway, when I pulled the new truck that I just bought in, I said to that guy that drives that setup with the big, wide, old mow setup, that's not a mow setup anymore, I asked that driver, I said, hey, how would you feel if I put a ramp rack on this truck, on this new truck, and I put some, something so you can put the shovels and things? Would you take this truck for gardens, or would you want to keep the one you have? He's like, no, I'll take that one. He'll take the new one with the ramp rack. I was like, are you serious? Like, if I would have known that was the case, I would have set it up a while ago, and I would have used yours for mowing. So it's kind of funny. But I said, look, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's get the ramp rack on. Let's get the trimmer racks and the shovel and rake racks on here. Once we have that set, then we'll talk about it. So that's kind of the plan so far. But it seems like a much easier setup for the garden guys than it is for the mow guys. And some of these ramp racks are mainly used for mowing, but can totally be used for... It might be overkill since you don't really need to bring any equipment up the truck. I was just thinking it's easier to take the debris down the truck because of the ramp. You know what I mean? But I don't know. And when you put the ramp rack, you get an extra 2 feet, I think. So I've got 8-foot bed. I'm going to have a 10-foot bed plus the ramp part, the dovetail. So that's where they can put. That's where they've been putting like the garbage cans, the big brute ones that they take to jobs. They just throw them on the dovetail area, and it works great. It doesn't blow away or anything. So anyway, that's kind of what's been going on this week. Next week we've got 4th of July. All our mow guys are working, but none of the other guys, nobody in any other division, no office person is working that day. So my mow guys are going to get a bonus that day for coming in. I've already got that in my pocket, ready for them. I want to make sure, actually. Yeah, so I've got money that I'm going to give them cash for coming in that day, for working on a holiday. And everybody should be happy. So, and the customers are going to be happy, and we're going to be on schedule on 4th of July week. So, will recession hurt small lawn care landscape companies? No, it's going to help us. I really believe the only thing that's going to get affected with a recession, with a hard recession, which I don't know what this recession is going to look like. The first one that I've been through was the housing market crashed, and everybody was losing their jobs because everybody's losing their houses, and the businesses, whatever. I don't know. And then the COVID came, and for a short time, we lost a lot of the big projects, right? Anything that was like 20,000 or more, ripping yards, replacing them with new ones, full installs, that paused for a little bit. And then it all came back, but that was a big scare when those big, we had a $50,000 job cancel, and they had previously, the fall before COVID came, accepted a $50,000 job and also a $20,000 job, and both in the same week during COVID called and canceled before their scheduled yard work was supposed to be done. So I know that will get affected for sure, but the mowing will not get affected by recession. I will be shocked out of my mind if mowing is ever affected by a recession. The other thing is, though, if you're not priced right and gas is killing you and equipment costs is killing you and trucks prices are killing you, the bigger guys like us, like me, are going to flourish because the customers are going to have a smaller pool of lawn care professionals to pick when all the lowballers can't do this anymore. So I think a recession is actually going to help us. I think high gas prices are going to help us. I already know that getting equipment, how difficult it has been, has already helped us because we can handle the work. We have equipment. We can hire new people, put them in with the equipment because we have it. So I'm not too worried about a recession, but then again, I'm not like a economic guru or anything, you know what I mean? So who makes my truck setups? They were made by a couple guys in Salt Lake. I actually reached out to the main guy, and he says that he's not able to do them right now. But yeah, so it was basically just a dude that did all of them around here. He did work for a company that needed them, and that's why they were building them. And they would also sell them, and they didn't really sell them, but they would keep the employees working through the winter as they would build these for other companies. So that's why there's a few of them floating around. But I actually reached out to 4 people before I bought my truck in the ramp rack to see if I could buy it off somebody. And one guy said that he would sell me his for $9,000. I'm like, dude, come on. He's like, dude, I don't need this. I'm not using it right now, but I don't want to sell it. And if I did sell it, that's how much I want for it. I'm like, well, I'm not buying that. I mean, that's crazy. Now, the ramp rack was $4,500. And it doesn't have what these other cages have, which is the space for a grandstand and a 21-inch mower side by side, and place for grass that gets dumped out. So because of that, are these cages worth more than $4,500 now? Probably, but not $9,000. That's too much. Harry, I bought a used truck. He asked if I bought a brand new truck or a used truck. I bought a used truck. Yeah. I don't know if I would ever buy a new mow truck, you know? Yeah, I would consider buying a new sprinkler truck, but not a mow truck. In fact, probably the only division I would ever buy any new vehicles for is maybe a fertilizer, which we don't fertilize right now, but if I did, that would be something I'd consider buying new, and sprinklers. But not mowing or gardens and landscaping. Now, I do have some nice trucks, but they're not new. Please post replay. Not able to listen continuously. Yeah, I'll try. I mean, yeah. Once I complete it, I'll just leave it. Every once in a while, I'll cut out snippets and make a shorter video on it, but I don't think I have any topics like that today. Anyway, John, I appreciate you always listening, brother. I really do. It's great to know that people actually care what I'm obsessing over on all these videos, you know. I just love talking about this stuff, guys, and I just love the industry, and I love the topic, and I love the business. Like, I love this business, guys. It has given me the opportunity to go after goals and dreams that I could only think about before I had this business. So I feel like if I could do that, I think other people can do that. And it's just kind of like one of those things that I just feel compelled to just talk about this business, because I know that it can be done by other people. So Eden, I love to listen to Freddie. Free knowledge he gives. Giant help. Good. Yeah, you know, that's the thing too, man. I've made so many mistakes. And I know it's hard to get people to actually do some of these things that I talk about. You know, I've talked to people and they're stuck in their ways, and it's like, I try and tell them that I've tried doing that and it doesn't work. But that's the beauty of having your own business. You can do what you want. You can do it how you want. And I know that there have been people that have told me my ways aren't awesome. I've had people tell me that. So it's just, you just got to prove people wrong. Even so, if I tell you, hey guys, that's not the best way to do things, prove me wrong. You can always do that. That's the thing about business and the drive that you have. So hopefully, you know, we just keep proving each other wrong, you know. Like, nobody's ever told me I can't do it. Like, I've never had anybody say that to me, but what people have said to me was like, why are you doing things that way? Don't you think it's counterintuitive or counterproductive? And I'm like, maybe, but I see it's the vision I have for my business that I want to do. So that's kind of like the way things are, but sounds like everybody's kind of heading out. Thank you, Merrick, for listening, for watching. Howard, Eden, John, Jarmar, all these people, man. Appreciate your time, guys. I'm going to call it a day. I got to do last minute things that I just remembered with the trucks and with fuel. And so I'm going to go take care of those things. But have an awesome 4th of July. I'll keep you updated with my ramp rack once that comes in on Tuesday. It's supposed to be here on Tuesday. And we'll see what I need to have on the truck to get it set up. If I need a hitch at the bottom, so I'm not even sure if I need that, but I don't have a hitch. The truck I bought is one of those F-150, you know, 6-cylinder. No, maybe this one's 8. Maybe it's 8. So I don't know, but it's one of those weak trucks that doesn't have a hitch. So we'll see. I may actually need airbag or suspension on that thing. So. Or springs, a leaf spring. I may need a leaf spring, so I just thought about that. But anyway, all right, guys. Talk to you later. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it.